Okay, guys,
Hello, hello.
how are we doing
Hiya.
today? Good?
Welcome to Gers TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, something a wee bit different today. So, pre-recorded show, this isn't a live, so...
Don't spoil the magic.
African Cup of Nations final on Sunday,
Yes.
10th of February.
Yeah, massive.
Yep, so we may actually have a wee bit of a former player representation in the final as well. So, Nigeria won the semi-finals just now, so
Wow.
might have a couple of our former players. So, we wish them well and good luck.
Of
And
course, yeah. It's
hope,
always nice to see a Rangers connection in any tournament. In
hope we
any
do the business.
later stages.
Absolutely. Yeah, always make it Rangers relevant, don't we? So, yeah.
And,
So we're doing a wee kind of almost like a vote today in the top 3 best African players ever to play for Rangers. So
new discussion.
just a wee discussion, just a wee bit kind of light-hearted. So I'm going to take you through some guys here that have played for the club that of African descendants. Ask you what your memories are of them, what you thought of them, and
African descendants now are pushing the bottom of the ladder.
well, I mean, I think some of the players here that their second granny twice removed moved to France one day, and
From Mozambique.
met a guy and they had a football player, and next thing you know, they're representing the country. So I'll run through things. So you'll not remember this guy. So the first African player ever to play for Rangers was a guy called Mohamed Latif from Egypt.
And what year would that have been?
1935-1936 season. He played there. Only ever played one game for the club, according to Wikipedia. One game for the club. But he actually also represented Egypt in the 1936 Berlin Olympics.
It's a bit of a tenuous link here.
Yep.
We're getting a guy that played one game in 1935.
But he's the first ever guy.
Bit of a
So,
tenuous link.
but
Carry on.
that's it. So I don't expect you to remember him.
Well, no,
Well,
I was busy getting rid of the war.
Yeah. But one guy I expect you to remember is Brian Himdani.
Oh, no.
So have you any fond memories of him?
Himdani, I was actually going to say something else, but that's Namucci. So Himdani scored an absolute belter of an equaliser against Celtic under Paul Le Guin.
He did.
Deflection for the edge of the box.
Aye.
And what year was that?
So he joined the club
2007 or something?
2005 to 2009.
So is that big a gap from 1935 then to 2007?
I don't think he was the next guy, but he certainly was the first on the top of my list here. 'Cause, yeah, it's all right.
Okay.
But he was signed by Walter Smith. He was utilised mostly as a kind of defensive midfielder in Europe, if you remember. So he really only played the European games for us, and Chris Boyd, unfortunately, was the guy who usually got dropped from to play.
Yeah.
He was part of the UEFA Cup final as well in 2008. We went to Manchester, but obviously we didn't win that one.
Yeah.
And he played for Marseille as well. He was the Marseille captain before he signed
I
for us.
thought
Marseille's
Himdani
good
was one of those kind of. He seemed to always. It was a bit like Sam Lammers this season. He
Aye.
seemed to always get a game.
Yeah.
He never seemed really like stand out in the game, but he must have done a decent job.
Aye.
That goal, I think Paul Le Guin, that was a couple of weeks before he gets sacked. The only reason I remember it is because after the game, I went back to a place called the Croft in Paisley and met Simon's brother, I think, actually, ironically enough. So there you go.
Aye, yep.
Don't that bad day. Don't against Celtic, being Brian,
Yep.
Simon's brother.
I think, truth be told, he was a player we probably didn't need because of what he did. You know, he was a defensive midfielder, and in Scotland, thankfully, we don't really need a lot of defensive midfielders. Barry Ferguson was at the club at the time as well.
Tell that to Gio.
So, well, that's it. All right. Magic Bagheera.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
Magic.
Algerian legend.
Do you remember him? Yeah.
Aye.
Your fondest memory of him is one-man run, Dundee United, December 2009, according to my notes.
Can't remember specific examples.
So,
unfortunately.
Took the ball in his own half and ran the entire length of Ibrox,
I
basically.
think I actually do remember that.
Unbelievable.
I think my one kind of everlasting memory of Magic Bagheera, well, two actually. One is him getting sent off at the Parkhead, I think, in a game.
Yep, it's a Scottish Cup replay.
And I went to get a haircut once, so somebody knew him.
Right, okay. Wasn't he the barber? He didn't look like the kind of guy who used to go to the barbers much, him, to be honest with you.
It's still open, it's Barbers in town. It's the one on, not Union Street, but if you walk up, it doesn't matter. But,
Brilliant. Sent off for his last game playing for us in Malmo, August 2011, a Champions League qualifier.
That was the one, that was the game, in my opinion, screwed Rangers forever. Well, not forever, but for that period, because
Certainly needed the money.
yeah, and we certainly, I certainly think that was that the one we didn't get in the Champions League.
Yeah. So it was 2011, basically. I think more or less it was a fire sale of the squad thereafter, after we never got in the Champions League final. Anyone had any kind of value attached to them was kind of moved on. But he was signed to replace Carlos Clare, who had obviously done really well for us. Was sold the summer before.
It's a strange period when we got these players and you hadn't really heard of them. Did that Carlos Clare did actually quite well?
He was brilliant. Only one season for us. He was fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Daniel Kuzan.
Oh, of course. He joined the long list of Rangers strikers that were either suspended or injured for European final.
Yep.
And,
So
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, so he was sent off Fiorentina.
Yep, set off, headbutted the guy in extra time. Headbutted the guy in extra time, you see.
That is what you want. European semi-final.
Sticking out to somebody.
Extra time.
Yep.
Go to penalty kicks.
Because we've got loads of strikers.
Aye.
Yep.
Fight, literally.
But to be honest, he could have won that final if we had Kusa in the team because he was essentially a tough player to play against. He was a mad mountain.
Yeah,
So,
he was never like, correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, he was never, in my opinion, a graphic striker.
Aye.
He'd always pop up with a goal. He wasn't like an Adam McClosh or Chris Boyd.
Yep.
But he was kind of like, he worked quite hard and he would kind of maybe set up a few goals as well.
Yep.
If I remember correctly.
What was the last thing he ever did for Rangers?
Play.
Sent off. Sent off. Parkhead, August 2000.
I was going to try and come on to that because did he not get sent off the same game as that other one, the beginner?
No, that was the year before. No, sorry, a couple of years later, that one actually. Sorry, I think. It was a Scottish Cup, it was a midweek game, that one, Beguera. He gets sent off. It was one that I believe Pedro Mendes scored. Remember the one that...
David Herbie with her.
Aye. So remember the one that Mendes scored that Davis had laid the corner out from and Mendes slapped down for about 35 yards?
35 yards, aye.
Kuzan, I think it might be in the second half, skinned the left back and the right, and then basically ran right down the touchline, came into the box, gave Boris the eyes that he was going to cross it, stuck into the corner.
Brilliant.
We won 4-2 that day, but he gets sent off that day, and he gets sold to Hull just a few days later. Aye, so I think...
As Del Boy was saying...
Aye, I don't think he should get sent off.
He was sent to Hull and that.
Aye, yep.
That classic episode.
Osana Koulibaly was a kind of short-lived memory.
Listen, he came to Rangers, right, on loan, yeah?
Yep.
He started off, he played like 2 months, he was absolutely amazing.
Brilliant.
He was, I thought he was going to be an absolute world-class player.
Aye,
And
yep.
then something happened,
Yep.
and he just I could have played better than him.
He just went.
Yep.
And my best football days are unfortunately behind me.
He was that good, he had a song. He was that good. I'm not getting you.
I know
Yeah, no, you-
it might be Super Ali.
Yep. So you're only going to get a song off the fans if you're any good, but I think you get a bad knee injury maybe.
Gerard's first season.
Yep, one of Gerard's first signings, aye.
I'm no one to let on.
You're doing alright, mate. You're doing alright,
Yeah, doing well.
But never recovered from injury. I think he's done a wee stint at Stoke, maybe
Sweet
just
history
there, maybe.
lesson for me.
Don't quote me on that. Alright. So we're moving on to probably a few more well-known names, a wee bit more kind of recent time. Joe Aribo.
Of course.
Alright.
Yep.
He might be coming back. He might be a wee...
Mate, I'd take Joe Aribo back in a heartbeat.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Where is he now?
Southampton. He's not really getting a game, to be honest with you.
He's, do you know what? He was... And this is I'm going to get absolute pelters for this, but see for his first half season, I didn't really rate him too much, but
Yeah.
later he could want a really good game. And,
Yeah.
So the thing is, from what I remember of him, his versatility was incredible. He came on. Obviously, probably the memory I have is the goal in Seville, which you know what could have been for us.
Yeah.
But there was a goal.
For those 10 minutes, so,
Brilliant. But he scored a goal against Braga. The first time we played Braga, just prior to COVID, in 2020 in February, and he was come on as a left back.
Yeah.
And he picked the ball up and he must have skinned about 5 or 6 players. And it's probably one of the most pieces of individual brilliance. It was like watching Gascoigne. To be honest, it was incredible.
Well, no, it wasn't an Eagle, was it? I'm trying to think. No, I don't think it was an Eagle, so
No.
carry on.
But
I was going to say, who set up the goal for Scotty Arfield at Aberdeen in injury time? That wasn't an Eagle, was it? Remember that Scotty Arfield one scored 2 goals in 2 minutes?
Yep.
It
Yes.
wasn't an Eagle that set it up, was it? He was away by then, wasn't he?
Pass. I was too busy celebrating the first goal. Didn't notice the third goal.
Anyway, carry on.
No,
I
so-
don't think it was an Eagle.
Carry on.
Aye, so the thing about, I don't know if you remember, Joe Aribo actually played the most games for any player on the planet that year,
Aye,
in the
yeah.
calendar year. I think he
Wow.
played over 65 games or something, including international games. And
lot.
no other player on the planet had played more football than him in the 1 year.
We touched on
Unbelievable.
we touched on that in a show we were talking about injuries a few weeks ago, where you forget that modern players do play
Yep.
up to 60 games.
Yep.
Next.
So, guys in the building just now, big Leon Balogun?
What are you going to say?
No.
What? In the studio?
No, he's not here now, is he?
He's really busy.
We better
Leon,
not
come on out.
we better not slag him. So he'll not be playing tonight, I think, he's injured.
Yeah, he picked up halfway.
Yep. So how do you rate his time at Ibrox? How do you think he's done?
Fair. I would
Average?
say. Average.
That is. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I was surprised when he left.
Aye.
Right? I was even more surprised
When he came back.
I was more surprised when he came back.
See, considering we've never paid a penny for him. We've signed him twice, never paid a penny for him. I think he's been a fair
Well,
been a fair servant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was an odd one to let him go because at the time we had a few centre backs and
Aye.
we didn't really sign anyone.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
at the time Suter was out injured as well.
Yep.
And so it was a strange situation to let him go.
Yep.
And then I thought we kind of panicked, bottom back a little bit. But he does a job. He's never going to go on a beginner run against United. But
Aye. Yep.
he can be reasonably solid. But I mean, I think he's cost a couple of goals. I think he cost us the goal against Aberdeen, the Pittodrie, and
Yep.
once, only draws. And
Yep.
I think he almost cost the goal in the Scottish Cups, the League Cup semi-final with the same situation. But
Yep.
overall, he's done not bad.
Not bad.
6
Right.
out of 10.
Moving on, Calvin Bassey.
Oh, ledge.
Incredible.
Right, brilliant. So,
Again, a player that I'm going to get absolutely pelted fast, but I tell the truth when I'm on this show. For his first 6 months or so, I didn't really rate him either.
No.
I didn't really see him until he kind of moved to left back.
aye. Well, there was a season. The season that he left us, I don't know if you remember, we started the Europa League. Remember when Gio first came in? We had to win against, I'm sure it was Prague at
Prague, it
Ibrox.
was.
Had to win against them at Ibrox, and Balogun actually scored that night himself. He
Yep.
scored the goal.
Yeah.
But there was the away leg in the first, we lost the first couple of games in that one. And Bassey played centre half out in Prague was a bomb scare. Absolutely hopeless.
Yeah.
But he's went from that at the start of the season. And I'll be honest, see the performance that he put in Seville against Frankfurt in the final, I've never seen an individual performance like that for a player at a
Well,
blue
then
jersey
he
before.
came back and we were playing in the... No, it wasn't after that. It wasn't straight after that game. It was a game where we had just played in Europe that week, maybe the semi-final or whatnot.
Yep.
And we played Celtic in the semi-final at Hampden.
Aye.
We
Yep.
went extra time, did we not?
Yes.
And with 4 minutes to go, it was his run
Unbelievable.
up the left-hand side.
It was
He
like a,
ran the
it was
whole
like, it was
park.
like a locomotive.
Aye, and it was like the first minute of the game.
Aye.
He set up the great cross.
Some engine. So
Yeah, and let's we brought him in for $500,000 or whatever it was, made a big profit on him.
sold for 20 million plus.
And
I
he
know.
got in a good game, set up. Won his cup that season. Let's be fair.
A great example of
Who
football
was it he
business.
went to for that amount?
Ajax took him on. Didn't do well at Ajax, to be fair.
He's on loan now at Fulham or something.
I think he's
like that.
permanent at Fulham now. I think they've signed him permanent. Aye, so he didn't settle well at Ajax, to be honest with you. Never done well. A brief summary of Sonia Luko's career at Ibrox.
That game against Celtic, when in administration, he scored 2 absolute class free kicks, I believe. I could be wrong, maybe 1 free kick, but I
Yep.
think he scored 2 goals. He's one of these players that when I signed, I was like, why the hell are people like him? But
Yep.
he was alright, he was good. Again, I'd probably the same as Balogun, maybe 6.5 out of 10.
Yep.
Never the best, but he'd want to pop up a wee free kick here and there, a wee run here.
Aye. He left us under bad circumstances, in my opinion. But anyway, that's for another day. Right. El Hadj Diouf.
Oh, okay, I've never despised the English, but that was very harsh, but it was a waste of jerseys as far as I'm concerned. People loved him because he was a bit of an arse.
Aye.
That was
Yep.
it. And he came on, he was spitting all that kind of stuff.
Oh, would he?
I don't like that.
Yep.
I'm not. He bit somebody about 10, 20 years ago, then he was signed for Rangers, panicked by. He was a bit like a Joey Barton signing. You were
Yep.
expecting he would come in and mix it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
a lot of the time he made himself look stupid.
Yep.
And that's just my opinion. And I'll probably, if I'm doing a disservice, then I apologise for the fans.
6-month loan signing, but won the title, won a league
Won a league.
medal, and won the League Cup in his 6 months that he was there. So I think
Can we edit the last 2 minutes?
so. And it's like Walter Smith obviously. I was used to signing challenging characters,
Yeah.
as I say, Mr. Gascoigne who I spoke to you earlier on. So, aye,
Yeah.
but
Interesting character off the pitch.
he
then.
certainly it was interesting viewing.
Yeah.
Interesting viewing.
Like Marmite?
Aye. It's Mr. Seema as well from Senegal.
Right.
Obviously sadly injured at the moment. Would you sign him permanently if you get the chance?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so.
I would, but not for 12 million. At this moment in time, I don't think he's a £12 million player. However, I think it's maybe like a £7 or £8 million
Seven,
player.
yeah.
Yep.
But whether or not I should look out for him.
Yep.
He's got this kind of weird thing where he's a good player, scored a lot of good goals, and I think he would do well because he's a great potential.
Yep.
I think
Right
so.
now, for me, it does seem a little bit of the case that he can be a little bit of a headless chicken very occasionally. On the whole, does really well.
Yeah.
There's flashes of kind of like, well, who before we go into Callum in a minute, where kind of just like hits the ball, runs, and then maybe gets it, maybe doesn't get it. So
Aye. Yep. But there's a talent there.
He's
Yeah,
likeable. I think he's
absolutely.
quite likeable as well.
Aye.
I don't know why, but he just seems to give
He's
it
got
his
all
all.
effort. He's all effort.
I
That's
think
what I
he's
like.
all in, like he's all
Aye.
for the jersey, I
Yep.
think.
yeah.
He's a
I do
fantastic
feel that.
athlete. If we can get the right people around it, we coach him. I think we've got a potential star there.
Well, given
Yeah.
the progress we've made from the start of the season to now,
Aye.
who knows?
Certainly.
I mean, it certainly is possible, isn't it? That
Yep.
he'll flourish.
Right, I'm digging deep here. So this is a wee bit more of a kind of testimonial thing because I don't expect you to get. So Johnny Hubbard, who was an MBE actually, played for the Rangers team 1949, 1959. So he played for us for 10 years.
Right.
172 games, 77 goals, 65 of which were penalty kicks. So he was known as the penalty king. Only missed 3 penalties throughout his time. One of very few players to score an Old Firm hat-trick. So we did that. All right.
That's incredible.
Left Rangers to go to Bury down south, but finished his career at Ayr United. Went on to become a PE teacher and sadly passed away in 2018. Si, obviously, we all know, done his testimonial dinner as well, so sadly missed by everyone at the club. By, I think, 77 goals in 172 games, 10 years at the club. Can't be sniffed at, to be honest with you. So he's got to be up there for me as far as the top players.
It's incredible.
Was he African?
He's South African.
Was it also? So he was, of course, yeah.
South African,
I genuinely was wondering where that was going. I was
Me
waiting.
too.
But no, how stupid that look. No,
Yep,
that's fine.
yep.
Carry on. Never mind, I'll take my medicine with that.
Mr Zungu that played for us, signed by Steven Gerrard on loan. Not much to write about home to there. Habin Namucci, who we spoke about,
I think he scored a goal against Inter Milan or something, did he not?
Yeah, so part of the team that they got to the last 16 of the Champions League that year.
Yeah.
So out the group stage. So signed by Alex McLeish. Difficult time for the club back then, as far as they were transitioning from obviously Advocates team into McLeish's team. So, but getting to the last 16, I don't think we've only done that twice, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yep. So there.
I was actually at the game over in Valencia where they played Valencia in the last 16.
Yep. Next on my list here is Bilal Danielson Mojni.
Was it not the guy that got sent off against Motherwell in the Championship playoff like 10 years ago now or something? Yeah.
It's a bad day at the office that day. Bad day at the office.
He played for like Southend or something. I remember like he played for Southend
Yep.
in
Yep.
League 2 or something down south. Like,
He's had
come up,
16 clubs during his career.
more clubs than Tiger Woods.
More clubs in Tiger Woods. Poor disciplinary record, assaulted a Motherwell player in a full-blown ride, which led to a 7-game ban. Next. Fashion Sakala.
Good, we man like it was, you know, didn't get a fair chance at Rangers. He was always kind of subbed. He never get a proper one in the games. He was alright. I didn't really. A lot of players liked him, so he came a bit of a kind of cult hero kind of guy.
It was really sad to leave Rangers. I read his letter and I was only crying.
Yeah,
When he
I missed him.
It was strange that we didn't really give him a run of games.
Yeah.
Stop start, and I was surprised that we let him go. I was surprised that we let him go in front of Scott Wright.
Yeah.
Really.
I've said before on the show that I think.
He didn't want to go, did he?
I don't think so.
He
Nah,
didn't.
it
He
was,
didn't. I think he made that quite public
He
knowledge.
was
that
quite
he
poorly
didn't
treated. Beale told him not to
I
come to the
feel
training
that, I
ground
feel that.
for 2 weeks before he was sold.
want to go. I never knew that.
Probably get the greatest ever fan song, in my opinion, ever.
Well,
There.
yeah, crazy, the old Shakira.
Yep, absolutely. Love that one. Eddie's good points and Eddie's bad points, but again, another guy which is complete effort.
I agree.
Definitely.
Fully.
Right, so,
So,
can you give me your top 3? So, probably your highlights, Johnny Hubbard,
Johnny Hubbard, even though
definitely.
yeah,
Joe Aribo,
Johnny Hubbard, Joe Aribo,
Calvin Bassey.
and Bassey, yeah.
Yep, in that order.
Aye,
I thought Johnny Hubbard definitely first, and then
Yep,
probably Bassey,
Bassey.
and then Aribo
then Aribo.
after that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just for, well, if Aribo's goal won that cup, then that'd be different. But I suppose, no, I would probably have Bassey and Aribo same.
Aribo would have a statue side the stadium probably if he scored the goal. I'm only kidding, but it's, you know, they would be, these guys would have been idolised.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
we'd well over it. Next time. All right.
Cool.
Brilliant. Thanks very much,
Let
guys.
us know, let us know
Thank
your
you.
top 3. Let us know your thoughts on the African
Yeah.
connection.
Let us know if there's anyone we missed as well, because I'm no doubt I've missed somebody.
Anyone we miss
yeah,
any videos?
And feel free to post messages flagging me for forgetting Johnny Hubbard was South African.
Yep. All right. Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.